Hey, yo, Con in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Come to us for your news and opinions. We got a voice. There is no choice. Wisdom voice in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast is like cruiserweight action. Your house is a perfect distraction. Papa see your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Swallow.
What's up, guys? What's cracking? The Con Man, and I'm in your house. We here. We're ready to make a movie. I hope you guys are ready to make a movie. I hope you guys are with the shits, because hey, we're with the shits. And we're ready to talk a little wrestling. That's right, you already know the vibes. Anytime we slide on through, we hit it, give you that work when it comes to this professional wrestling business. And it is Friday, which you already know what that means. All right, if you are familiar with what we're doing here on Fridays, that means it's most definitely Bloodthirsty Friday, which means we do our ECW watch-alongs. Let's go. And of course, when we do our ECW watch-alongs, I have to bring our ECW expert on to the show, and that is, of course, the voice, Josh Joseph. Welcome back to the show, bro.
What's up, house? What's up, household? Listen to that vibe. It's so good. It's so good.
Let's go. I know you guys are feeling it out there in the household. Come on, headbang like a motherfucker out there, y'all. It's ECW, baby. ECW Friday watch along in your house. The concept's all around the house. It is the voice, Josh Joseph, and we are here to give you that action. ECW, it's time to get extreme, you sons of bitches. Here we go. All right, you guys already know the vibe here. It is our ECW watch along, and guys, we've been giving you guys a lot of great work, a lot of great matches. I mean, most definitely they've been awesome. And this week it's no different. It's no different. I mean, one thing I am going to say is that the voice has brought the heat to these ECW watch-alongs, and we're going to get to it. But before we get to the ECW watch-along, you guys kind of have gotten used to what we do here when we do these watch-alongs. We have a little lightweight discussion, maybe a little brain teaser, and then we get into them. So, we were thinking, and, I said this voice. I said this on the Raw deal with Howse and O'Neal. And, we're talking ECW, and of course you can't really talk ECW without talking about somebody like Raven, right? Like, Raven was so important to what ECW did, but also, Raven had a lot of his iterations of his nest, his flock, and whatnot, and ECW, and of course, WCW. And it got me to thinking, I was like, man, like, the flock with, like, Billy Kidman and Perry Saturn and there was a couple others. I'm trying to remember all their names. But it's when I think about that, I kind of think about the Wyatt Sicks in a way. And it got me thinking because me and Annie were talking about it. And we were like, and I thought to myself, I was like, wow, seeing this iteration of the Wyatt Sicks and what they've come to be, it just makes me think. It really gives me like Raven's flock vibes from like WCW, like when once again Kidman was in there and Stevie Richards was in there and Horace was in there and Chris Kanyon, and Saturn and Sick Boy, like that type vibe. So with you being such a huge ECW guy, and obviously, I mean, you're a big Raven fan, right? I'd assume you see.
Oh,
do you kind of see those parallels between the flock and the Wyatts?
I really do. I mean, to me, the two factions I could say throughout wrestling in general that gave me on the main stage a vibe of believing the underdog it was the Wyatt family and Raven's flock.
Yeah.
Raven's flock, they were the reason I thoroughly enjoy Raven is because every step he took in his career, he was explaining why. Why am I doing this? Why are the fans interacting? And he took it and he went from it. I mean, he was Scotty Flamingo, something like that back in the day with his first WWF run. But then he got into this grunge era. I mean, it was hot back in the day. Pearl Jam, Nirvana, you had Stone Temple Pilots, there was just a huge movement for it. And there was a big talk in Hollywood of this Viper Room where everybody was going down to Skid Row. And that's the vibe Raven gave me. Like, I believed in the grunge era with him. Like,
yeah, for he sure. He carried that well.
Yes. And like I would like my thoughts on this was like just the look of Joe Gacy. Just look at Joe Gacy.
Yes. Yep. Because I was just, you know what? Go ahead and get into that. Go ahead and get it. Because I was just about to ask you. I think I know my reasons, but you being, the historian that you are, why is the Wyatt Sicks giving me flock vibes? I want you to tell me.
Okay, well, and this is like purely on what I'm looking at when I see it. And sure. Joe Gacy, he proved to me that he still got it. He can still move. He's very good at what he does. But he's got a huskier build, aka Huskus. He's got a huskier build like a KO.
Yep.
But he can move like Billy Kidman, Sick Boy.
Yep.
And he's got that dope sick look because that's what Billy Kidman's character was. He was the dope sick kid Raven was saving. And giving him wrestling and giving him a purpose and giving him everything he needed to succeed, but never succeed higher than Raven. Because it's, even if you're in the flock, it's still all about Raven.
Yep.
That's the difference between the Wyatts and the flock.
Yeah.
But the similarities are there. I mean, and I always draw a blank on his name. He was like Hammer something, Alex Hammer. Yeah, Hammer. The big dude that wore the fishnet.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell me that's not Eric Rowan, but just with a rabbit fur vest. He's got that ability to shock you with some big moves that you wouldn't think a man of his size can do.
Right.
Just like Hammer did. And he was being saved because he was a big man, but he was lost in the shuffle because he was in a sea of big men. So Raven brought him into the flock and gave him a purpose, gave him a way to just inflict punishment onto people because that's what he wanted to do.
Yeah. And
he could get away with it in the flock. It was actually very welcome. So, yeah, that's where I'm at with that. I mean, there's obviously no Lodi. I don't see a Lodi character in the Wyatt Sicks. And you don't need one. You don't need a guy running around with signs that just make you giggle. And things like that with the Wyatt Sicks. But, yeah, where's your mind at with it? Like, where are you formed with it?
Oh, I'm glad you asked that, man, because, like, it's very much like the similarities that I see is not just like the attire and stuff, but it's definitely there for that. Like, it was definitely like, and it was definitely giving, Joe Gacy was giving, that is, like Sick Boy or Billy Kidman as far as with the attire and stuff. Like, and it's that for sure. Like, they just like, in a way, they look homeless. You know what I'm saying? And the flock looked homeless. Like
they did.
It's very much the visual there, but also it's the fact that while yes, with Raven's flock, it was very much you can do as much as I allow you to do, but never more than me. And I get that's the big difference there with the Wyatts and the flock. But the thing that draws me to that comparison is because it's very much Uncle Howdy taking these wayward lost souls and bringing them together for a purpose, these misfits, these forgottens, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a band of outcasts that alone wouldn't even be a blip on anybody's radar at all. But together, they're incredibly dangerous, and they move in unison because they believe in this higher power. With the Flock, it was Raven. With the Wyatt Sicks, it's Bray Wyatt. But there's a middle ground there, because the middle ground between the Wyatt Sicks and Bray Wyatt is basically, Uncle Howdy. And I'm going to say this, and I'm not trying to be offensive when I say this, but this is just a comparison that I see when I see it. Uncle Howdy is like Jesus, and Bray Wyatt is like God. And I think that's very much how the Wyatt Sicks see it. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I like that. I like that because it does play on that level. If you like just look at it at the base of it, you have the creator of the group, who is now not with us.
Yeah.
You had he sent his son, in this case his brother, to complete the mission.
Oh my God, I'm getting myself goosebumps. Damn.
Yeah, that's good. That's great, man. I mean, and here's what really sparks my intrigue about this whole thing with the Wyatts. The one thing that the Flock didn't have, the one thing the Ministry didn't have, the one thing that a lot of these groups don't have, except the Wyatt Sicks, is that female aspect. Yes, and not just any female, sure. not just any female aspect, a female who knows the playground in which has been built and you're allowed to play in.
Yep.
That's a good point. And you can be taught that. You can be taught that. But to have the natural ability to look at Nikki Cross, and that's exactly who we're talking about.
Right. Yep.
If I'm looking at her, and let's say I'm making a Texas Chainsaw Massacre type horror movie, instantly I can see her in a van being abducted and then just like trying to figure it out, she survives at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
But I'm hooked on her as a character because she gives me that natural, like I can see her, like if she gets panicked, you're going to see that hurt. She's just got that look. She's got the ability, the rounder face, the not so aesthetically, socially pleasing of this scale of beauty.
Yeah.
But she's beautiful in her own way. You know what I mean? Like
I totally get where you're coming from. Totally.
She's not giving you that poppy vibe of la 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 life
like
is
a Barbie or anything like that. She's not a Barbie.
Exactly. She's seen some shit, okay?
Yeah.
And you might want to watch out for her. That's the vibe she gives me. So like I appreciate that aspect so much in the Wyatt Sicks, because when you add that, you show the evolution of wrestling and where we've come in storytelling and giving people, no matter what this shell looks like, the chance to shine.
Yeah.
That just really hits home with me and really makes me think we are going to witness one of the best stories ever told by WWE. And that is exactly why I've told Grun, why I've told the household, why I've told the window lickers and Grun's friends. I am so invested in this ride that I just can't wait for the next storyline. I cannot wait for the next segment. I cannot wait for even just a rumor so I can look into it. You know what I mean? Like it's getting so good. And just, it's really making young Josh, who loved wrestling, loved these weird groups. I was a huge fan of the Oddities for some reason. I just liked them. They were different. They were different. And we
click on that level because I was always a fan of like the Oddities. I was a fan of the Flock. Like it was just a group of outcasts that came together for a purpose. And I'm like, this is more real than any other really stable that they're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, have you not had a group of friends where you guys were just like the outcasts at school or something, and like you guys were like bonded by wrestling or bonded by video games or bonded by something like that's that's relatable. I'm sorry, it just is. And like that's why I drew to the flock so much, and that's maybe one of the reasons. There's many reasons, but one of the reasons why I'm drawn to the Wyatt Sicks.
Dude, they know their psychology. They know how to hit guys like us, man.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like I said, this just takes me back to my childhood when I started really loving wrestling. WCW was so fantastic, and back then I couldn't wait for the next Raven segment, the next Flock moment, the next sign I could read from Lodi. It was just fantastic, and I really appreciate what storytelling they're doing in the Wyatt Sicks world.
Absolutely. And I just want to say, I want to dig a little bit more into Nikki Cross before we move into our great watch along. But I just want to say, like, the Flock made that WCW mid card wonderful to watch. I mean, I loved it.
Yeah.
They were awesome on the mid card. They were awesome. Even when they had, I don't know if you remember those Saturday Power Plant episodes that WCW used to have.
Those were an epic thing in my house for Saturday. Yes,
they were for me too. Oh man, and they dominated the Power Plant. The Flock did. If I remember correctly, a lot of that Saturn trying to drag the Flock away from Raven was done on Power Plant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like I remember that storyline because I remember I don't know if you remember that promo. Like, remember when Perry Saturn was like looking like he was going to be like a main event guy? Like, he was really like when he left the Flock, and then he was like, I cut passionate promos. Like, he cut a passionate promo talking to Billy Kidman about get yourself cleaned up and do better for yourself. Go chase the cruiserweight title. You're way better than being in this cult. And I was just like, dang, bro was like talking life into, like, he was talking life into bro. Like, that was real shit. That I don't know why. That promo always stuck with me, that Saturn cut, talking to Kidman. And then Kidman actually later did do all those things and became a great WCW Cruiserweight champion. But, like, I don't know, like, that always hit with me when Saturn left the Flock and he was just like, you know, I got to try to save these guys from this guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was a compelling storyline to me. But back to the Wyatt Sicks and back to specifically Nikki Cross, she's just so amazing in this role, man. I mean, and we were talking a little bit before the pod went on the air because we kind of just sprung talking about this out of nowhere, and then it was like, let's just talk a little bit about it on the pod. And I was like, it's like, there's some noise, there's a little bit of noise on the internet that's saying, oh, it should have been Alexa Bliss, and like, respectfully, I'm like, no, the right girl is casted for this spot. Like, nothing against Alexa Bliss, and she definitely grew into that creepy type vibe, but also at the same time, like, it's hard to see her as like the scary part of the horror film when she looks like the one who should be running away from the ghost. She's like, you know, the pretty blonde girl in the horror film that like always falls down and is about to get caught and then ends up getting caught. Like, no, I'm sorry, Nikki Cross plays it well. It's definitely giving Ring vibes anytime she comes out, and like Nikki just fits the role so much better. And plus, like, to be fair, like, I just want to see more Nikki. Like, I want the best for her. I followed her since her indie career when she's played an unhinged character. So she's already naturally in that mindset and in that role, you know? So, like, to me, Nikki Cross is just the best pick for this role. Yeah.
You're not wrong on any of that. And it's nothing, like you said, it's nothing against Alexa Bliss. But when I think of this role, I don't want a manufactured idea of what I'm supposed to be scared of. I want the story of, well, Jim was 3 neighbors down, and, well, he was just a quiet dude. And then we went to his basement, and, well, he had a museum of dead people. You know, I want to be terrified of Jim down there because you told me a story, not because you're telling me this is who it is. Now, if you're going to tell me that later on when you bring in Alexa Bliss back into the WWE, why couldn't she be the witch?
I mean,
because she was.
Why couldn't you just bring her in and be that role, like you said, or be the role that she was playing with Bray before he had passed away?
Very true.
And then boom, you could even have Nikki and Alexa Bliss come back together again and chase those tag team championships at some point. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get it. You feel me?
Yep.
Like,
you're in my head, man. Yeah, that's exactly where I was going.
Yeah, it's
there's room at the table for everybody to eat, and you can get seconds because it's there. And why not do that? There's so many possibilities. And again, I know I keep saying it, household, but I want to ride the roller coaster. Yeah. I just want to sit. I want to enjoy it. I don't want to know what's coming. I just want it to be a loop, and I want it to scare the ever living hell out of me. That's it.
I agree with you.
And they're doing it. They're doing it.
No, I totally agree. So we're about to do this great watch along. Before that, we're gonna take a little break, and we'll definitely cut to that. But I gotta ask you before we go to our commercial break. So we're both enjoying the Wyatts immensely. It's one of my favorite parts of not just Monday Night Raw, but of everything that WWE is doing right now. But let me ask you this, because myself and Annie O over at the Raw Deal, we discussed this a little bit, and she had a great idea and a great thought. But let me ask you, what would be the Voice's next ideal feud for the Wyatt Sicks?
I think they need to stay in the realm of dealing justice to those who go against their family, their party, their whomever they're a team with, they've teamed up with. And in that, I kind of want them to maybe go after the other side of what Chad Gable had and Otis and
really
and
okay.
Because if we're going to keep Otis and his group together and doing something, we need to give them something.
Yeah,
they have to have something to do to be any type of relevance. And if you're going to do some type of like little changes to that group, right now I think the Wyatt Six is a faction you can put with that, and you can kind of cheat your way into your new role.
Yeah,
because you have the mystique of these people. So of course, having any type of experience, and I believe Michael Cole has said it, is going to change your life. When they lock in on you, your life will not be the same afterwards. I mean, there's proof of that. Chad Gable is now standing in a ring with two other men, and each one is facing outside because somebody's got to watch their back.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if this group is as well gelled together as Chad thinks they are, because I could see them using the Wyatts as a group breaker up, like they break up groups.
Yeah.
They finally give them their last paycheck.
Yeah,
not
that's right.
So I would like them to go with something like that. Stick with the idea of that they are dealing out justice to those who are getting maybe not justice, injustice in their group. And I'm not saying Otis and his group are having injustice in it, but you could also use them as a change for implementing into a group, making them more of a powerful group.
Faction, yeah,
exactly. There's so many avenues you could go with this, because we are in the, and I hate using this term with it because it's not real, but the paranormal characters with these people. We've talked about that, especially when we were getting the first drops and things like that of videos. So I think with this group, there's a lot more that you can do than your average faction. And it mostly revolves around the whole idea of the paranormal stuff. I mean, look what the Ministry got away with. They tried to crucify Stephanie.
That was wild.
Dude, and I seen a video clip of that, and it had Stone Cold Steve Austin, and it said Savior, and it was like, we need a hero to save us. And it was like,
Dear God.
dude, I was rolling. I was rolling. It was so good. It was so good. But yeah, that's kind of where I see. I might not have a direct answer on which group, but a group like that's ready for a change. That's ready. I mean,
Okay. All
yeah,
right. So
that's kind of where I'm at.
I feel like I'm about to tee you up like right now. I'm gonna say two.
Okay.
I'm gonna say two faction names, and you tell me just right off the top of your head what would you think about a feud with them, and then we'll go to break. Okay. So what do you think about the Wyatt Sicks feuding with the Judgment Day? This current iteration of the Judgment Day, who have wronged their family.
I think that could be a great way to go. And plus it gives this new Judgment Day a avenue to get on the stage and get more people behind them. I mean, they actually have a pretty big fan base that actually is enjoying the turn on Rhea, and it's getting kind of weird.
It really is.
Yeah, it's. I honestly, I thought there was going to be legit just hate, but there's not. There's not at all.
A lot of these new age wrestling fans are like super like logical and like break everything down psychologically. Like even Jones, he'll tell you that he thinks Rhea's the bad guy. You know what I'm saying? So like he'll tell you that, even though, you know, within the confines of wrestling, because there has to be good and has to be evil, but naturally people got behind Rhea. But he's making a point though. Like he does make a point. So like I think, and honestly, I think it's a good pivot. Once the Rhea and Damian Priest stuff is done, it's a good pivot for Judgment Day to do something else. At least get some more mileage out of that faction by feuding with another faction like the Wyatt Sicks. And I just think it's a good step up also for the Wyatt Sicks, because the Judgment Day have most definitely been running Monday Night Raw, and I feel like that the Wyatts, it would be a step up for them to go up against those guys who have basically been the main event faction of Monday Night Raw.
No, that's a great point. And that would be a great feud. I would love to see that. And I think we could get away with that right now. After the whole thing with the Gable and all them.
Yeah.
When we get to that point though, do we want to see a 6-man? Do we want to see an intergender 8-man tag match? 8 tag intergender? That's a mouthful to say for that.
It is, yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot. But you know, I think like the biggest thing with me is that however you decide to do it, even if you just try to do a 6-man and then maybe do a 1-on-1 women's match, if that's what you decide to do, the fact is the numbers are there on both sides to really drag this thing out and really like spread it out across a card. You know what I'm saying?
You're very true on that. And I think that's how I would want it. I would want singles competition, and then maybe like a special night where we get the whole, like the tag team.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think that would be cool. Yeah. Yeah, I would like that. That would be a good one to go with.
Yeah. Yep. Once again, I cannot take
especially if you want to continue that story.
For sure. I can't take credit for that one. Once again, that was Annie who brought that up on the Raw deal with Howse and O'Neal. So you guys go back and check that one out. That was our Wednesday episode. But all right, another name. I really feel like I'm teeing you up on this one. I know what's coming. How would you feel about the Wyatt Sicks feuding with the Final Testament?
Only if it's we never get to see the Final Testament on TV again match. I think you could do it. I think it's going to hit a lull. I don't think it's going to hit. And I kind of feel that you and Annie kind of have that same sentiment.
I'm not feeling the Final Testament, bro.
It's hard to.
It.
Yeah, I mean, I know I'm supposed to be scared of Authors of Pain, but like if I'm reading it and I'm not seeing them, I'm not.
Bro, here's the thing. Like the Authors of Pain, like I know they're big, like I think they're like Armenian or something like that, huge men.
I believe
and
so.
and like it's not the fact that if I ran into them in like an alley or something like that, I wouldn't be scared or anything like that, because it's like that. But the thing about it is, I just don't care. I literally just don't freaking care. Like, brother, I'm telling you right now, if the Final Testament was wrestling in my backyard, I wouldn't even open up the shades. I don't care, bro. I
get you, man. Every time I hear, oh, we're coming back from commercial and Karrion Kross has got something to say, I go, well, I don't have anything I need to hear, because
Let me go ahead and get a sandwich. Let me go ahead and take a piss real quick. Like, I don't care.
And why are we supposed to either? I mean, it doesn't seem like they're even doing the extra to help themselves out. It's like they get a script, they come to work, they go, bump, bump, bump. This is what I got to do. Okay, guys, you got it. Yep. Go look like we're going to be mad at something and that there's some mysterious thing. And we got 2 managers. 2. Who cares?
How do you make me not care about Paul Ellering? What?
Put him with the Final Testament. That's how you do it.
What's he even there for? Like, I respect the man, and I know you're not a huge Karrion Kross fan. I'm a fan of his indie run. He was great in the Indies. I think he was great. I don't care about Paul Ellering. I don't care about Authors of Pain. I don't care about Karrion Kross. I forget Scarlett's even there sometimes. Like, I just don't care. And like, I don't want it to be like that, but my thoughts are keep the Wyatts away from them like crazy. Because if you want people to start to like lightweight, I just got to be real, because I have to be. If you want people to kind of feel like the Wyatt stock is on the decline, put them in a feud with the Final Testament, and that's exactly what's going to happen.
I agree with you 100%. You don't like money? Well, put them with the Wyatts and the Final Testament. There you go. There's
I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that in the slightest bit. I want to care about Karrion Kross. I don't. Paul Ellering, legendary manager. I don't care. AOP could most definitely run any tag team division. At any point. I don't care. Scarlett, when Scarlett and Karrion were together, she definitely was that like great piece of heart. Like, she would leave like the hourglass and stuff like that, and she had all the seductive movements during the entrance, and it very much added to the entrance. I don't care now. So like it's let's do something there, and even if Karrion Kross heard this, he'd be like, I don't care what you're talking about. I'm getting paid to wrestle in the WWE.
Exactly.
I'm on Monday Night Raw every single. I get that. You don't have to care what I'm thinking, but this is what we do here. This is what we're supposed to do. So like, we're here to talk about and critique things that we don't think is hitting. And personally, I don't think that the Final Cross is hitting, and I don't think they've been hitting for a long time. So like, that's that. I'm not going to keep running that into the ground. This is the second time I've ranted about the Final Testament this week. And I'm going to stop now, because
you've already kicked that dead horse.
I've already kicked it, bro. But we are going to be kicking it. We're going to be kicking it, chilling, kicking back, watching an awesome ECW match. Our watch long is about to happen. But ladies and gentlemen, before we do that, we do have to take a break, pay a few bills. When we come back, myself and the voice, Josh, Joseph, we're going to present you that awesome ECW watch-along.
Do you like comedy? Have you ever done it? Have you ever thought about going up on stage and telling some of those jokes that your family and friends just love to hear? Well, now you have the opportunity. Every Thursday night, starting February 15th at Cooper's Pub, we are doing an open mic. The Kokomo Press is doing an open mic at Cooper's Pub in the downstairs comedy den. It's going to be awesome. It's going to start at 8 p.m. on Thursdays, February 15th. And we're going to be doing open mic with 10 to 15 spots for each comedian at 5 minutes a spot. Do not hesitate to sign up. Sign-ups will be at 7:30 physically down there in the bar. Or if you want to, you can sign up early. All you have to do is message our page at the Kokomo Press. It's going to be a great time. We're going to have drinks and we're going to have food specials. And it's all a part of Cooper's Pub. You just go straight in, and instead of making a right, you make a left, you go downstairs, you make a left, and you're right down there in the Comedy Den. Myself and Brian Allen West are excited to see you, and we'll also have friends that you may know, like Jordan Bell, aka Hypocrisy Jones, Sean Dalrymple, a local comedian we love, and even Courtney Richardson. You're going to see us all out there. We're going to be having a blast. And again, it starts February 15th, but after that, it's every Thursday at 8 p.m. in the Comedy Den downstairs at Cooper's Pub. Hope to see you there.
Guys, welcome back to In Your House, and this is our ECW Watch Along series with myself, Alakan the Concept House, and the voice, Josh Joseph. And guys, go check out everything that the Kokomo Press is doing. They do those awesome Thursday night shows. Sometimes you'll get a Saturday night show, and those ones really hit different. And check out everything they're doing with their podcast, their page. Definitely follow everything that they are doing. They're funny people, and it's all about community there too. They highlight a lot of different talented people there, so most definitely check that out. But what we're about to check out now, myself and the voice, we are about to check out an awesome ECW watch along, and these have become one of my favorites to do in the week. You know, it's crazy. Before we get into it, I just want to say how much, like, honestly, working with like you, working with Annie, working with Grun, and of course continued work with Hype, and when we get a chance to P, it's really brought a different side out of me as a podcaster. I mean, it just really has, because I'm podcasting more, I'm enjoying it more. You know, it's awesome. You know, it was a long time I was having to carry this by myself, man. So like, it's great to feel like reinvigorated again with such a great group of people that love to record talking about wrestling, watch wrestling. It's great, man. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and give you, man, the floor right now. Go ahead and lead us into this awesome match. Give us a little backstory and what we're about to watch.
All right. So, fans, this is an awesome cage match. And when I say cage match, don't expect, I know this is 95, don't expect the old WWF cage. This is a straight up Home Depot built together cage that they put together. And fun fact, right before this match, Tommy Dreamer just got done crucifying Raven on the cage and beating him profusely with objects. So the fans are all riled up. Yeah. But another reason they're riled up is because this is Public Enemy. Oh, and this is the Gangstas. And if you're not ECW, I'm just going to say literate for back then in 95, because 95 was a transition year for them, because they were leaving this Eastern Championship Wrestling mentality. They were starting to hit with the more extreme tapings and things like that. So we were getting that shift. And I mean, Paul Lee was starting to do really amazing promos in the ring, very heartfelt things. The whole organization had a lot of buzz about it around this time. And its tag team division, it was held by Public Enemy. They were the reason for a tag team division back then. They were throwing guys at them that you may not like think would be in a tag team, but actually ended up working out. And New Jack and the Gangstas came up, and I believe this is I'm not exactly sure when New Jack signed with ECW. But he did come out of Jim Cornette's promotions down south, and he was definitely a chord striker. The man could strike a chord in a crowd with just mic work. And it was very in your face, very direct, very mature content that he was discussing, but it did its purpose. It did what it was supposed to do. And Jim Cornette actually, he found something in New Jack in this, and he did a lot of work with him and got him recognized by ECW, to which Paul Heyman was like, hey, man, come do your stuff here. You can also be very violent. You can be the New Jack that you're supposed to be. Yeah. I mean, these dudes were showing up with Raiders jackets back in the day. I mean, I don't know how your schools were back in the day, but my principals banned anything Raiders. You could not. They were like, that's gang related. Dude, I couldn't wear a 3. Dude, I'm telling you, white country schools were crazy. I could not wear 311 shirts because a assistant principal told everybody that, now follow this. So you have 3 letters in this. The 11th letter is K. KKK. It's like he never even listened to a 311 song. I have friends of different races, and we've listened to 311, and none of them have ever been like, boy, you listen to some racist shit, man. What is going on? But yeah, that was our school, like that type of things. And I mean, he was hitting hot with the whole OJ trial was happening around this era. He was doing promos where he was shouting out OJ Simpson.
I think I remember that one.
If you want to get a pop out of a crowd, you do that. And Jim Cornette was brilliant to see that's where him and New Jack should take that character and develop it. And then now we get into this where Public Enemy, there's talks that there was some animosity towards the Gangsters because they were coming up in what Public Enemy already built, and the fans were really getting behind the Gangsters in a different way than they were with Public Enemy. So it was more of like a jealousy type thing because, I mean, honestly, New Jack, Mustafa, they were new shiny objects in the ECW world that were giving the fans the bloody matches, the big man throwing a smaller man way more than what he should and safely. So it was entertaining. They were giving everybody what they wanted, and Public Enemy, I don't know. I appreciate what Public Enemy did for wrestling as a tag team, but a lot of it is like, I don't know, cornball wrestling to me.
Really?
A lot of the antics of Public Enemy. I mean, they do the hip hop dancing. You'll see this. They'll be doing that. I just, I get it. That's your gimmick and things like
dated?
that.
Kind of feels dated.
It felt like their representation of, hey, fellas, we're going to give you this little bit of blackness in your character, and we want you to run with it. So you just be the blackest dude you can. And it's like, okay, yeah, I get it. They got the hip hop stuff, but like, it's not that. Like that can only last for so long, especially when you bring guys like the Gangstas into your promotion. That shit's gonna look like a McDonald's Happy Meal compared to exactly. So that's where we are. It's a cage match. It's a tag team cage match. It's bloody. It's violent. It's New fucking Jack. And I can't wait for us to jump into this.
All right. Let's go ahead and do that. But before we do, folks, I have to make sure that I give you guys an opportunity to know when we are starting off at. And that is going to be 1 hour, 29 minutes, 13 seconds. 1:29:12. That's 1 hour. Okay. 29 minutes and 13 seconds. I got 12 on mine, but it's I'd say 13 just to keep you locked in right there. I mean, it's right there. So like, I'll give you guys a second here to do that. If you guys want to pause the podcast, most definitely do that. But as for us, we've already had our lead in from the voice Josh Joseph. So if anybody live wants to join with us, just kind of catch the vibe, and I'll try to throw whatever time we're at periodically throughout the match. But we are going to go ahead and get started here. And of course, we have to do our countdown as we do it. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. So we're about to get started in 3, 2, 1, 0. So we have public.
See, the crowd's already doing it.
Yeah, they're already in there. That crowd is hot. Already in the ring, y'all. So if you guys are seeing Public Enemy already in the ring, you're right where you need to be at.
Yes. And this is, like I said, this is right off of, this crowd base just witnessed Raven.
Yeah.
And if you look in the crowd right now, there's 2 guys standing with their backs.
Yeah, what the heck is going on there?
That's a thing that ECW fans did when they did not like who's in the ring.
Look at that.
They all, I mean, they got the Taz stance. They got, man, yeah. And
it would be so awesome to be part of the crowd.
Yeah, look how packed it is. Look how the energy.
That's what I'm loving. I love a crowd like that.
Dude, look at the top of that cage.
That cage is not going to hold up, brother. It's not going to hold up. But this is what I like, though.
Yeah, exactly. They worked with what they had. And it's so funny that they set up the Raven Tommy Dreamer match before this, so they didn't have to tear it down for the cage match for the tag team. So it just followed right in suit with each other.
Why do I like this cage better than the WWF blue cage? Like, this feels like more like of a fight to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want my cage to be pretty. I want it to be ugly and painful. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want a pretty cage. I don't want it to be glorious or nice looking or nice and red like that one Hell in a Cell that they did a few years ago. I want that shit ugly. Ugly cage. This is what we're getting.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely one of the more gruesome, violent cages built. And then now you have the Gangstas coming down.
My man coming out with the Snoop Dogg shirt.
Dude, this would... look
at him.
Yeah. This was every time New Jack came out. Every time.
Oh my God.
And with Mustafa with him.
Yeah, look at him. He definitely just looked like he's just like thugging it out, bro. Like, he's just a hitter in the group. He's a gangster, bro. This is good shit already. Look at him scaring the commentary guys.
Yeah. This is what I love. The look was believable.
It was so believable, yeah.
Yeah, just everything about both of these men, like, you believed. And hopefully in the watch-alongs, we'll get to see the Mustafa and New Jack fight when Mustafa turns against New Jack. That was a crazy one.
Was it? Uh-oh, wait a minute, he got a mic.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
He's a... He's gonna hurt him so bad. Mustafa's just up there in the corner like a bird perched.
My man was a real, like, that promo. He even called out a promo. That was just real.
Yeah. In New Jack's world, though, that was a good promo. He got an excellent promo.
Dude was so real.
Yeah, he really was. And it was really cool because, like, the year before he passed, I messaged him on social media, and he got back to me. Yeah. And here we go. It started, ladies and gentlemen. Household, get ready for some fun. I hope you've tuned in because it's starting
Yeah,
right
now
off.
we were at an hour. We're about to be at an hour and 34 minutes into the show, just so you guys know if you guys just joined us. But this match is definitely underway, boys.
Yeah, they've as soon as the mic dropped, it was go time.
Yeah, it was on a pop.
And just the way Johnny just took New Jack and javelined him into the side of the cage. This has a lot of fun to it. Staplers will be used. There will be lots of these cookie sheets. New Jack does always have hidden objects on him.
Yes, he does.
So
that was the thing.
he will be. You might see a fork. You might not. It all depends.
Let me ask you, as this match is going on, man. Oh my God, is he forking this man?
Yep, there's the fork. It's been introduced.
Oh God, that was quick. Let me ask you, like, what modern day promotion would you see a match like this happening in? It doesn't have to be like just the main ones. It doesn't have to be just the main ones.
MLW
MLW
or GCW. I could see them
GCW
doing something like
too.
that. Yeah.
I could maybe even see, like here in Indianapolis, like AWR would probably do something like this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, Asylum Wrestling Revolution, they would probably do something just like this.
And I would like something like this. This is
I would
fun.
go to this. I would go to something
Yeah.
like this.
If this was your main event, you're definitely got my attention. Mustafa just chucked
Yeah, just
so hard into
guarded
that.
man. This is not wrestling. This is a fight.
And that's usually what it was. New Jack did wrestle. I mean, there was matches.
No, that's not to say that he's off. I'm just saying this specific match is literally just like it's giving just straight like a street fight that people were watching. You know?
Yeah. It was more though that New Jack, once he took this character on, wrestling was secondary.
Yeah.
And it was warranted for this character because this is what people wanted. He's just smacking him in the face with a frying pan. Fans, we should have probably warned you. This is the era in which they would directly hit each other in the head.
Yeah.
It wasn't when they hit you with a chair back then. They hit you with a chair.
I mean, what do you guys expect? This is ECW. You guys should know what you're getting into, unless you're too young to know ECW. Then sorry.
Isn't the shirt that New Jack wearing? Isn't that the Snoop shirt that he got after he got off the murder trial? Or
yes.
was
Yeah. Murder was the case that they gave me.
that was such a good. I remember listening to that song on a field trip through my headphones.
Wait a minute. Who just gave him that?
That was a Gertner.
Was he a ring announcer just gave it to him?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he asked for it.
That's great.
Yeah, they and the fans, they're chucking things into the ring. What does he? Oh, New Jack's got a belt, or no? That's a frying pan.
Yeah, he's got a frying pan. And these guys are already like bloodied, like it's a bloodbath already.
Yes. There's and New Jack has said in interviews the only other person who was.
Oh, go ahead. Say that again.
I was just going to say that New Jack has said that Mustafa is the only other wrestler crazier than him.
Really?
Dude, there's some
well-known crazy.
Yeah, well, there's stories of Mustafa smoking anything he can get his hands on in the back.
Ooh, damn.
Pencil shavings, plants that he finds on the outside.
Yo. Yo.
Yeah, there's some wild stories. And it's so amazing that all of these guys found each other to become their own tag teams.
Yeah.
Because in the world, this craziness doesn't, like, you don't match up with these guys on an everyday. He's trying to leave. He doesn't want no more of it. New Jack pulling him in like
So
he's
ask you this.
working at a deli.
Let me ask you this: escape from the cage doesn't win you the match in this, does it?
No,
I didn't think
it
so.
just gets you away from
Yeah.
getting beat and bloodied.
Oh, he's pulling him back in. Mustafa's pulling him back in.
Yeah, he's not letting him go.
You're not going anywhere, buddy. Oh my God!
Oh man.
He just smashed him on the head with that.
Yes, he did.
Oh! Rocco
old-
ain't having no kids.
Nope. And I loved how some of the fans, even the older fans, they would dress up like the Gangstas. Like,
That's
there's
funny.
a dude in the crowd who was dressed up like Mustafa when he came out. He's got his bandana over his face.
Yeah. Oh, I see him over there.
Dude, this era of ECW was definitely still underground. It wasn't like nobody was tasting it up in the mainstreams. But if you knew about it, this was like, you could point friends out at school who watched ECW just on what they wore.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, I had the Raven Flock shirt, quote the Raven nevermore.
Yeah.
I wore that, dude. And when he went to WCW, man, we had a blast.
Oh man, I see. That's where I mainly saw Ravens Run, and the Flock was there in WCW, and I was just enamored with that group and everything. Ravens promos were absolutely insane, and then later after that, I figured out that he, was in ECW, and I'm like, that makes sense for somebody like him, So like, I don't know. I enjoy it, but this match I'm enjoying too because this is just what I like, and that's unmitigated violence.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think Johnny Grunge has a belt or a tire iron. He has something, and he's just beating the hell out of the backs of Mustafa. Oh,
This
right
is
to
just
the
a
groin.
bloodbath, bro.
Yeah, this is where young fans learned that, sometimes you got to bleed in the match, especially this.
Yeah. Because this look, I mean,
Like, imagine if they didn't bleed.
Oh my, yeah, you're bleeding during this. Yo, he is. Yo, oh my God.
And this one is just
That clothesline
Yeah.
was not safe.
No, it wasn't. And this is where you kind of see the turn, where Mustafa is kind of getting to a point to where he's realizing that these guys they have some type of ill will. Not like they're going to hurt them, but like they're jealous of the Gangsters. They really are.
Oh shit.
That was his direct punch. Cracked him.
Oh, he just kicked him.
Yeah, then he gave him that little weak kick,
I
you
expected
gotta make
more
sure.
from that. Yeah, I did expect a little bit more from that kick. I thought there was going to be a little bit more oomph behind it.
He just give him a little tap. Mustafa was a different type of character in that ring, man.
I'm curious about him. How long did his career last?
I don't believe it was very long. I know he was with New Jack during the Southern promotions with Cornette.
Yeah.
And
Okay, so he had a very short. I just looked it up real quick. He had a very short run in WCW, but it was just he was just kind of used as like a jobber. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
I didn't know he was in WCW though.
It was only for a year and only as enhancement talent. He would be on WCW Saturday Night, WCW Main Event, WCW Worldwide. No appearances on like Thunder or Nitro. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Off that top rope. Oh, the ugliest swanton bomb ever.
You ain't lying about that. That was pretty gnarly.
But that's not a diss because I don't want nothing. I don't expect anything pretty in this match. Like this isn't freaking Will Ospreay versus Ricochet. That's not that. You know, this is ugly violence.
New Jack meets the steel face first once again.
This is like Chucky versus Freddy.
Yeah.
And you put a cage around him and let him go.
Just let him
Like,
go.
he just
bro.
cracked it. He Tanya Harding him. He just Tanya Harding him. Oh shit, here comes a wrestling move.
Oh, he's going all the way up.
Rock going to the top of the cage.
I love how Mustafa is playing like he's just like drowsy out here. Oh shit! Oh! He hit the homie. No! Pinfall.
New Jack ain't letting that happen.
He's like, no.
He was a Macho Man elbow.
Man, he ran over there. He ran over there like he was on WWE 2K or something, trying to break up a pinfall. Oh,
Rock, the steel chair.
steel chair there.
There's a shot for Mustafa as well.
Oh,
Oh, he's just smacking him in the face with that.
Mustafa.
Down on the ground, more chair action.
Rock working over
yeah, they love using the chair in ECW back in the day.
If it wasn't, table time. Yeah, let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it.
This is always a good time in an ECW ring if a table's brought in.
Oh yeah, another one coming in. See, they had luxury there in ECW. Like in WWE, you got to go get your own table. They're bringing you stuff, man.
If they would have been able to get into the fans, there would have been more weapons out there. The fans used to bring weapons to ECW shows.
Gotta love it. I love a fans bring the weapons match. Those are always fun.
I think they. Oh shit! He's leaking over there.
Yeah, you took the words right. You literally took the words right out of my mouth. I was gonna say, brother is leaking.
Dude,
What are we doing?
Mustafa is. Oh god.
Oh god! No! Oh god! Oh wait! Oh, they're setting him up on that.
Yeah, I don't.
No! What are we doing?
I think you know what's about to happen.
Oh my god! He's going. Yep, he's moving that chair out of the way. He's going up. You better go up to the top of that. That's what I want to see. Oh god! Hey! No, he can't. What the fuck? Oh!
That's why when you said the ugliest, I was like, the ugliest?
Yo, the ECW chants raining there in the arena for good reason. That was a hell of a spot.
Double chairs, New Jack, or double tables, New Jack on top of the second table, moonsault off the top of the cage. Nothing but thighs and legs hitting New Jack.
Oh my god.
Oh, Mustafa's getting a pin.
Did he win?
Is that the win?
He stole it.
Mustafa gets the win for the Gangsters. And he is getting New Jack out of there.
He's like, let's get out of Dodge. Mustafa just took advantage. That's what it was. Because after that big two-table spot, that should have been the end.
Let's get a shot of the Gangstas.
How is New Jack even moving?
Yeah. He took all thigh and knee.
Swinging wildly in air. He is blinded. He
Oh,
can't
and
see
Mans
a
is
thing.
pissed.
Well, he got the fire to the face by Mustafa.
Oh.
Well, rage in the cage was all we thought it would be and much more. We thank you very much for joining us.
What
in
a match.
Heatwave 95,
Yeah, that's
exclusively
it's
on
a.
ECW.
I know fans, if you're watching it, it's maybe not like what you see today, and it might look a little disorganized, but this was like truly a epic moment for the Gangsters to actually get a win over Public Enemy in a match like this. Public Enemy and ECW, they were trying to keep their namesake alive. They were trying to keep their hardcore personas going, and when someone comes in and does it better, maybe find a different way to do something, like, and this is just one of my favorite just throwback matches. I watch it. I've seen this one quite often. I like watching it. It reminds me, because we don't have New Jack anymore, and just especially after his Dark Side documentary that came out about him, I really found a different person than New Jack, like the human. And it really, I miss a lot of his, I miss him as a entertainer, and because he would talk about Raw, he would talk about SmackDown, he would post about it live, and it was entertaining. I enjoyed hearing his ideas on these things.
So he stayed a fan well into his later years. Well,
he hate watched, but yeah, a fan. Yeah.
I was gonna say, yeah, still a fan, bro. That's still a fan.
Yeah, it's still a fan. Still a fan. Yes, but yeah, it just these matches, they touch home with me.
Sure.
Because that's when we got New Jack, we got the Gangstas, and then it dived into the story when they broke up the Gangsters and how good that was.
Man, that match was fun to watch. I mean, well, have we been doing the ECW watch along for what, a month now? Has it been a month? Has it been 4 matches that we've done?
Yes, 4 matches.
Yeah, man, you're 4 for 4, man. You're definitely 4 for 4 in my book. And you know what I like? It's been a good variety of different matches from different time frames. We like the Dean Malenko and Eddie Guerrero match. That was a stark contrast from what we just watched, but I like that. Like, I like mixing it up, and it definitely makes these watch-alongs fun, and the household seems to like it because we get good downloads on them on the podcast as well. So it's great. I'm loving it. But we're gonna ride off into the sunset here because we got to go bug Grun a little bit at Grun's room. He's doing the SmackDown preview show. So without further ado, Voice, let everybody know where they can find you at, catch everything that you're doing, and when and where that is.
All right. Household, window lickers, Grun's friends. You can find me Monday night with Grunmeister at 7 p.m. We are an hour before Raw, and we get you ready for Raw and give you 3 subjects in which we talk about the previous Raw. And we give you our insight. Jump in. Grun has been hitting home run after home run with his topics. That's the extra you get with us. We have a solo Grun topic that we discuss. So come hang out with us there. Come hang out with me and Howse here, where we talk ECW watch-alongs, and join the Discord, because we're going to start Discord fans. You're going to get a little treat. You're going to get what we're going to watch for the next watch-along.
Ooh, okay,
a day before everybody else. Can we do that, Howse?
Yeah,
can we do that for them?
Sure can.
So join us if you want that extra little bit before everybody else. You want to be the envy of the block, the new kid on the block, not Joey. You don't want to be him. But anyways, so find us on Friday, and always find me on the Sunday house parties, because those are a treat. Those are some fun talks, and you get us for a lot longer, and you get damn near everybody.
Yeah.
So jump into that. Last Sunday was epic. We had everybody who's a working member here, and it was fantastic. Everybody had a good time. Everybody really talked SummerSlam, and it was great. So those are the places to find me. And you can always find me in the chats. Anybody goes live, you can find me in the chat. Sometimes I'm a little way late, got dad life, but I will be there.
Hey, man, we appreciate all that you do as always. Make sure you guys are jumping in that Discord. We're about to really be pushing that, guys. So, I mean, if our house call gets a little bit clogged up, you know, and some people feel like sometimes it does get clogged up, get on that Discord where we can sift, and you can, whatever you want to talk about, you can go to that specific topic. So make sure that you join our Discord, because it's a lot more organized than our house call. If you like the house call, definitely stay there. But I will prefix it with this, that we're going to start dropping a lot more exclusive content on the Discord. So it's beneficial for you to just go ahead and follow it. Even if you want to be a part of if your preference is to be a part of our house call Facebook group, that's fine. But I'm saying, if you want to see that extra content, you're gonna need to go to the In Your House Discord. So go ahead and do that and catch all the exclusive content that we're gonna drop. Once again, what match are we going to watch next week? The Voice is 4 for 4. If you want to catch what it's gonna be a little bit earlier, join the Discord. I have to stress that. I can't stress that enough. Make sure that you join it. Get in there. It's not tough. It's not hard. Right down there. The link is there. Get in there and make sure that you are part of this special community. So, you guys already know where I'm going to be at. It's going to be right here at In Your House, making sure that we're putting out the great content that we are doing. Guys, you already know the vibes. Sunday, we give you guys the house party. Like Voice said, we had everybody last week. It was a ball. And then moving right into Monday, we have Window Lickers. That is the Raw preview show that is hosted by The Voice, Josh Joseph, and Grunmeister, the blue-eyed villain himself. And then Tuesday, we're going to be moving right into these smoke sessions. He's got a few things that he's had to take care of, and you guys know how it is. You guys are adults too, but we're about to really get this thing rolling for Smoke Sesh, and that's going to be generalized news, topics of what's going on in the wrestling world. Then Wednesday is going to be myself and Divinely Designed Annie O'Neill as we present the Raw deal with Howse and O'Neill. And we've been since she's joined the team, these have been great and an absolute treat to do with her. Absolutely follow what she's doing and her bumping and thumping Indie Spotlight podcast. Go check that out. And then Fridays, you already know, you get these awesome ECW watch-alongs with The Voice, Josh Joseph, and myself. And then Grun, right after that, or after you're done with us, head on over to Grun's room, talk a little SmackDown, as he does a SmackDown preview show. And it's great stuff. So, guys, you know, this month, I'm just kind of chilling out. Don't really have a whole lot of appearances this month. Next month, I will be at Wrestle Arts on September 11th, as they're going to be doing an awesome show. Then September 14th, I'll be back on the Emerge commentary table for Emerge 81, and that's going to be great. So, until then, you guys already know what it is. Follow me at Alakhan House. It's across all those social media platforms, if you so well please. But more importantly, follow us on the In Your House Wrestling Podcast Facebook. Follow us on our Discord. Make sure that you're doing that. Stay on top of that. And guys, that's HOWSE, and the W stands for work. So, for The Voice, Josh Joseph, for Divinely Designed Danny O'Neill, for Hypocrisy Jones, for the Grunmeister, for the world's most dangerous podcaster, Paragon, I am Alakhan, the Concept House, here to remind you to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to hop on this bandwagon. Get on or get gone. Because the household, well, we are still going mighty strong. You guys have a great day and a great rest of your week. Peace.
Yeah. In your house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Come to us for your news and opinions. We got a voice. There is no choice. We're them boys in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast, it's like cruiserweight action. In your house is the perfect distraction. Pump us in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Smooth.